Warzone cannot last forever. It just can't. It just can't. Absolutely dropped the ball in this game, and Apex Legends is kind of just the move right now. If I'm gonna be making content, I'm gonna be doing what's fun, and I think most other content creators would absolutely agree with that. I sense a lot of very good things coming for Apex Legends in the future.
They called me a madman, and what I predicted came to pass.
Might not come surprised for a lot of you guys, but it's time for a break from Warzone.
Oh, I got. Oh, I'm dead.
Cheater, midair. Fuck yeah. That was good. You got
fucking get control all delete.
Yeah,
Uninstall this fucking. This game is fucking horrible. Come on, bro. We land first time. It is dead. What are we playing this shit for? Seriously. It's not fun. I don't want to play. I'm not having fun.
Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to tell you why I'm going to be quitting Warzone, or at least taking a significant break from this game mode. Today's video.
You know what's funny is I was yelling at him at the end game, but it's kind of dawning on me. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at Call of Duty. That's what I'm mad at. So like,
yeah, then I'm quitting fucking Call of Duty.
Says it really?
Everyone that plays Warzone has played Call of Duty for years and loves the Call of Duty franchise. But right now, I think a lot of people just feel a sentiment. They don't feel loved back.
To be honest, I might go play a different game soon. Low-key.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
it's that bad.
We've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. The new season's coming out. I'm going to be finding that game. Nick and Tim are actually playing as we speak.
You do realize it's only good for us. Them exposing their communities, people that might not usually watch Apex, like exposing them to Apex and potentially bringing over more players, that is only a plus. Where are the negatives of other streamers coming over to a game that they don't usually play?
Hello everybody, my name's Big Citrus, and let's get into it. So, we're finally here. We are finally going to be talking about how Apex killed Warzone. Now, I was predicting this almost like half a year ago, tons and tons and tons of time ago. I was talking about how Apex will eventually be the most popular battle royale, the king of the genre, and Warzone be left in the dust. Now, if you've clicked on this video to dislike it, hold on. Hold your stinking horses. I got a couple things to say, a couple things you might even agree with, okay? And if you clicked on this video to, root for Team Apex, celebrate being the #1 battle royale, I actually have some interesting thoughts that you might want to hear first. I posted a community poll, deciding which video I should make a video on, and you guys voted for this. Now, I was kind of surprised because I feel like a lot of people on YouTube have already talked about this specific topic, has Apex killed Warzone, and talking about all the Warzone players who are now moving to Apex. There have been a lot of interesting points about that, like how it's going to ruin the game, like how Warzone was never a good game in the first place and people were just playing it for views, how Apex actually isn't killing Warzone, or how Apex has actually been the highest rated and most watched BR this entire time. A lot of these have some truth to them, but a lot of these definitely have some falsities to them. Falsities, is that a word? Whatever. What I'm here to tell you in this video is specifically what Apex did to kill Warzone, and what this means for Apex, and what this means for Warzone, and maybe just gaming as a whole. Now, I know everyone's going to call me an Apex shill, and I made a variety of bipolar opinions on this game, talking about, oh, is this the day Apex Legends die when the Titanfall hack happened? Oh, look how good Apex is in comparison to Warzone. Oh, what we need to do to make Apex better. A Battle Royale game is complicated because, for the most part, they're usually changing quite often. But then you look at a game like Warzone, which has really only had one massive major change since its release, and I ultimately think that killed the game. But it was a variety of factors leading up to this that ultimately made people stop playing Warzone and switch over to Apex. So what is the #1 thing that Apex ultimately did to end Warzone's life? Just get that elimination, do the floss on them, all that fun stuff, right? If you've watched my Apex Legends The Dead Game That Came Back to Life video, you already know what I'm going to say. Apex didn't actually do anything. See, the interesting thing is that, Apex hasn't really done anything super crazy to the game that made it, insanely better. You would actually have some people arguing with you that Season 10 is one of the worst launches we've had for a season just due to how overpowered Seer is. Thankfully, he's been nerfed now, but I would actually agree with that point. I was surprised Season 9 wasn't the season where Apex had its huge resurgence and ultimately took its place, even though that was kind of already happening. Apex Season 9 saw the highest amount of players for the game since its initial launch, and we're probably going to see an even bigger record set for Season 10. But yeah, it's not like Apex has done anything super crazy. They've just been consistent with their updates, you know, trying their best to keep the community happy and adding new things that'll keep people interested. The game still does have a myriad of problems. As much as I love Apex and definitely think it's the best multiplayer FPS out right now, I do think it has issues that still need to be addressed, but it still leagues ahead of most other games in its field. When you look at the other popular battle royales, the only two that can even remotely compete with Apex are Fortnite and Warzone. Fortnite will never really officially die due to its popularity with a younger audience, and Fortnite is still doing very well for itself, but it's not respected in the esports field, and I think most people who are above the age of 16 don't really think about it that much. Warzone was very different, however. Warzone, for like ever since it came out, was pretty much the most popular BR there was. But a lot of things have happened, and it has ultimately made the biggest content creators switch over to Apex. All these big content creators like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tapman, and Courage, among others, have all switched to Apex, and most of them have fallen in love with it. But I imagine most of them will alternate back and forth between Warzone to keep their audience happy. Like, for example, the day I'm recording this, yeah, Warzone is beating Apex in Twitch viewers, but only because Tim the Tapman has 50,000 viewers watching him play Warzone. Remove those 50,000 and Apex is almost doing double what Warzone is doing. If you just look at the stats, Apex has concurrently been rising the past 6 months in terms of viewers and watch time, as Warzone has been lowering. The reason Warzone has lost popularity is simply due to the fact that Activision, Treyarch, Raven Software, Infinity Ward, whoever the hell you want to blame, has been doing a very bad job of keeping up with the game. In terms of adding things, they've added literally nothing interesting. The new quote-unquote maps and the quote-unquote game modes are literally just the most like cookie-cutter basic additions to the game. And every month or two, they'll add a brand new gun that will completely break the meta and be overpowered and probably doesn't even get a nerf half the time. All this went wrong with the integration of Cold War when Cold War first launched into Warzone. And of course, the cheating and the hackers. I know Apex has a cheating and hacking problem, but oh my gosh, it is not anywhere near as bad as Warzone. There will consistently be cheaters who drop 40 kills every single match and never get banned. They do a big ban wave every 3 months or so. And yeah, cheaters and hackers are a massive problem, and it's just really bad, and no new additions to the game have made it feel very stale. While Apex has been pretty consistent and pretty good at balancing the game, and while cheaters have been a problem, it has not necessarily been the death of play, although with the new integration of a bunch of Warzone players, we're seeing a lot more cheaters on the game, and just a lot more toxic players in general, because COD players are like that. So essentially what I'm saying is that Apex kept up by being consistent, and Warzone kept failing to live up to its standards, and people got tired of it and wanted to play something new that would keep them happy. And they moved to Apex. That's ultimately the long and short of it. It's not like Apex, you know, tried to beat Warzone. They didn't do anything super reactionary to try and beat Warzone's numbers. Now, I don't think Warzone is necessarily a dead game. I just think that for the longest time, Apex really couldn't even be the #1 battle royale. It couldn't be in that conversation. It was always kind of just like the third best, or just the one that pretentious people play who are too good for Warzone or Fortnite, people said. But now it is truly a top tier candidate. People will stick to Warzone and keep playing it just due to the fact that Warzone is very easy. We can have a conversation on which game takes more skill all day. Anyone who's played Apex for a decent amount of time, or Warzone even, should be able to tell you that Warzone is considerably easier. Movement and gunplay is basically the same as any FPS that was made 10 or 15 years ago. It is very easy. Apex is really advanced with its movement and its gunplay, but is still fun for people to learn. Could this just be a little burst of energy that Apex has that immediately dies out again and we could see Warzone back on top? It's possible. But I feel that this honestly is the end for Warzone. With Call of Duty Vanguard being announced, and let's be honest, not tons of hype for it, we're going to be getting another game integrating with Warzone for the 3rd year in a row, and I think a lot of people are going to get sick of it. A bunch of new weapons will be added into Warzone, and they could be overpowered, they could be underpowered, but regardless, it's just going to be too much for the game. You're going to have 3 games to basically have all of the content, and think about how much unlocking that's going to take and all the new players and cheaters that are going to come along with it. Ever since Cold War came out, we have seen literally next to no significant changes to Warzone, and I think they're going to drop Vanguard, drop a new map, and kind of just call it a day. I genuinely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because Warzone and Apex have been on my mind a lot recently. And it's interesting to see this development with all these huge streamers moving over to Apex and quitting Warzone, perhaps for good. If Call of Duty Vanguard does not live up to the hype, and especially when it integrates with Warzone, I think that will ultimately be the death of Warzone. Apex is getting more popular by the day still, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. But I could be wrong. I think Call of Duty might just be the Maroon 5 of the gaming industry. Always there, always just average enough to be popular, but never exceptional to really be well liked. Let me know your opinions. Enter my $50 cash giveaway if you want to. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side with some more Apex content, and have a damn good one.